from Radio Leicester.
Hi, Ian.
Hi, Brendan. Sometimes you're beaten by the better side. Was that the case tonight?
Yeah. I think it's an easy game to analyse. I think first half with and without the ball, we weren't aggressive enough. You've seen us in some of these games against the bigger opponents where we can tactically be compact and then break out either on a counter attack or have periods with the ball where we can then exploit. But we didn't do that. I was disappointed with the first half, the lack of aggression in our game, and then obviously when you're not that aggressive without the ball, it's difficult to flip over and be that when you have it. So yeah, disappointed with the first half. Second half, a bit better. Started well, changed the shape of the team, got in contact with people, and then it was just then about the next goal. Could we get the goal? And then we concede another goal from a set piece, which sort of kills the game really in some ways. And again, we weren't aggressive enough in our marking. So yeah, best team won. We're disappointed with the performance or result, but an easy game to analyse. Unlike as I said, the game last year when we played when we lost 4-0 at home. That was a tough one to take.
Why do you think there was a lack of aggression, Brendan?
I think obviously we've been out of rhythm for a few weeks. Obviously players going away, international duty coming back in, and just like that sort of little bit of cohesion tonight. And but also it's sometimes the way the game works out. But so important. You've seen in these other games that we've played, we've been aggressive, we defended well, but tonight we lacked that for some reason.
Do you feel your energy levels lacked a little bit as well, Brendan? I'm thinking in the middle of the park. I know you've talked about internationals. There's been travelling involved and players have been out playing for their countries. Do you think you lacked energy this evening in places?
Yeah, a little bit. I think that's all part of it with the squad and the players that we have out. So, but listen, the players until this point, 9 games in, I know it's very early, but they've been great. Going away from home, to have played Man City and Liverpool away and Arsenal away and West Brom away and Leeds away. It's a tough opening period for us, but the players have been brilliant, especially with everyone out. Tonight, like I said, it's an easy game to look at and see where we can be better. We'll put it behind us very quickly and now move on.
No Timothy Castagna in the squad this evening, Brendan. Is he okay? Is he match fit? Could he have played?
No, he wasn't. He trained with us for a few days and then he just felt a slight little twinge. We don't think it's nothing major, but it was one where it was just too big a risk for him. He's been out for a few weeks now and we feel that just for him missing out tonight, and we'll see how it goes for next weekend. So hopefully him missing tonight, having a clear week, we'll get him ready for our next game.
Was that still in his hamstring, Brendan?
Yeah, same spot. He's come back. He had a few good days training. We thought he was going to be all right, but he just said he had just something minor he felt. We had the scan. It's okay, but he wasn't available.
What have the players had to say about the Matip handball in the first half? With replays obviously help us up in the commentary box, but at the time the players down there seemed pretty comprehensive in their appeals for a penalty. Obviously it wasn't given. What have your players said?
I haven't spoke to them on it, Ian, to be honest. Obviously we're quickly at the goals and then we're away, so I haven't actually seen it.
Okay, you've not got too much time to turn around, of course, Brendan. Europa League next up later on this week. It's a big one for you. How do you feel you're going to be able to dust yourself down and crack on? Actually, does the fact the games come and they are so plentiful at the minute, does that help in many ways for you to get over that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I said to the players afterwards. We don't dwell on it. We've had a terrific start. We were beaten by the better team tonight. Everyone talked about Liverpool's injuries and that was the narrative leading into this game. But it's still a top class team with real players at the front end of the pitch that can hurt you. And obviously we've got still a number of players out, but the players that are playing for us at the moment, they're doing terrific. They're giving everything. It just wasn't our night, so we move on.
Always appreciate your time, Brendan. Safe trip back. Thank you.
Cheers, Ian. Thank you.
Hey, Jeremy Langdon, Sky. Hi, Brendan.
Hi, Jeremy.
Just on the own goal, it was pretty freaky. What did you make of it?
Well, it was that. Johnny's been outstanding for us, and it was just one of those ones where he obviously just couldn't adjust, and it's come off the back of his head and went in, and obviously that's a goal that gives them the confidence. We had a couple of moments in breakaways where we looked a threat, but of course that settles them down a little bit. So, but yeah, we've conceded 2 goals from set pieces tonight, which we're not overly happy with. So we need to analyse that, and yeah, we had a couple of moments. Harvey's got a great chance. A good move up the left side. JJ pulls it back and we have a chance. But yeah, the first goal obviously is one of those things.
And just on Liverpool, Brendan, it's 64 home games now unbeaten at Anfield. It's an incredible record. And what kind of message does it send out to the Premier League that they can do that to you tonight, missing so many players?
Yeah, I think that's been an art of leading into the game all week. But my players have done fantastic with the number of players that we've had out. We've had it up to 5, what we would say, starting players that haven't been with us, and other players that have been in and out of the team. So yeah, it's something. My players gave their all tonight. We weren't at our best. So okay, we move on. Liverpool, it's an incredible record. Back to 2017. So it shows you the power, and it actually shows you the strength and depth that they have. So yeah, they're an outstanding squad of players. It's a great record, and I'm sure they'll look to continue with that.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Tom Colomosi, please.
Hi, Brendan. Can you hear me okay?
Hi, Tom. Yeah.
You mentioned the narrative about injuries there. When you come to a place like Anfield, do you really need a full strength 11, not just Leicester, but any team, whereas you are without potentially 3 of the first choice defence plus Ndidi?
Yeah, of course, that makes it really difficult. However, I have to give credit to my players, because this is probably the only time where we haven't really performed to the level that we want to. Obviously, of course, we lost to West Ham at home, and that wasn't so good. But we have a lot of players missing at this stage of the season, and the players that have come in have done really, really well for us, Tom. So yeah, you come against the teams like Liverpool with the squads that they have. Of course, you need that strength, but we'll look at the game. That there's areas that we could be better in, especially first half. We're a little bit too passive for my liking. Second half was better, but we needed to get that next goal, and unfortunately, we didn't do that.
Just finally from me, James Justin is not particularly experienced at Premier League level, but he's been very impressive this season, not always in his favourite position. How would you sum up his improvement under your management?
Well, he's been absolutely incredible, really. When I think he's played it right back, he's played it left back, he's had to fill in at centre half. Just a phenomenal boy who, he gives his all every game, and he's only going to get better and better playing in the Premier League. Great athlete, working on aspects of his game that needs to improve, but yeah, plays in so many positions and filled in so many gaps when the team has needed him, and yeah, he's a joy to work with, and a young guy that's only going to get better.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Over to a couple more guys. Jordan, please.
Hi, Brendan.
Hi, Jordan.
I know you've spoken about the injuries, but because of Liverpool's sort of depleted backline, do you consider it a missed opportunity at all, that you weren't able to continue your good away record here?
I don't really see it as a depleted backline. I know they're missing. I know they're missing Virgil van Dijk, but Matip is a top player. Fabinho was filled in. He's played there against Chelsea and played there against top players. Andy Robertson's always played. Alisson is the number 1 goalkeeper, and James Milner, wherever he plays, does an incredible job. So I don't go with that narrative. They're still very strong. Got top players. You look at the midfield, the players that always play. So yeah, they're just an outstanding team. Super organised, play with heart, quality, and yeah, we're the better team.
Thank you.
Last one from Rob Tanner then, please.
Hi, Brendan.
Hi, Rob.
The defeat last season at the King Power Stadium and again tonight, do you think those two defeats mask the progress that you've been making with this young side? And also, does it also show you how much improvement is still required to then challenge a side like Liverpool?
I don't think it masks anything, Rob. Certainly from my own perception, it's pretty clear that the players are improving and developing all the time. How they're coping and where they're at compared to, like I say, clubs like Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, Tottenham to an extent. These are teams and clubs with budgets far superior to how we're working. I think that we're making progress and developing, and along the way you're going to have bumps on the road. So playing against a top class team tonight, it's not quite like the last time. I feel, I thought tonight we can analyse it much clearer. The 4-0 when we played at the King Power, they were showed why they were just off being world champions. Tonight we're just disappointed with the first half in particular. Unlucky first goal, but we can defend better, and we've shown that against the top sides. So yeah, a little bit too passive for my liking, but in the main, yeah, I'm not disappointed at all. It's part of the journey, so we need to keep striving. It's always going to be difficult for us to compete with, a world champion and a Premier League champion, but we have to keep fighting and never give up on that.